The grand hall of the Zor'kai Imperial Palace trembled with the sheer force of the Empress's fury. Columns carved from obsidian stone cracked as her razor-tipped tail lashed violently against them, the polished floor splintering beneath her talons. The court of advisors, generals, and diplomats cowered in silence, their eyes fixed on the towering figure of Empress K'lara Zor'kai, supreme ruler of the Zor'kai Dominion, once considered the most fearsome empire in the Orion Arm. Her crimson eyes burned with hatred as the holographic projection hovered above the central dais, rotating slowly for all to see. It was a Terran warship, sleek, predatory, black as a void itself, and emblazoned with the emblem of Earth's United Defense Fleet. But this was no ordinary ship. The data feed confirmed it beyond doubt. Humanity had revealed a fleet of 3,000 warships. 3,000. It is a bluff, hissed High General Raxer, his scales flickering nervously as he stepped forward. Their industrial output cannot match such a fleet. It is deception, Empress. Empress K'lara turned her burning gaze upon him, her voice a low, venomous growl. Do you doubt the Imperial Intelligence Directorate, General? Raxer's mandibles twitched, his defiance evaporating under her withering stare. And no, Empress. You merely underestimate them, as we have in the beginning, K'lara spat, her voice rising to a roar that echoed across the hall. First, we mocked their frail frames. Then, we dismissed their primitive world. And now they dare parade 3,000 of these death machines into open space and challenge our reign. The hologram shifted, displaying the human fleet in formation, a vast, coordinated armada spreading across the Black Sea of space. Interceptor-class corvettes, destroyers, cruisers, and battle carriers formed layered defensive spheres. But it was the ships at the heart of the formation that commanded dread, the Terran Cataclysm-class warships, each one bristling with gravitic lances, singularity cannons, railgun batteries, and weaponry the Zor'kai had never encountered, much less comprehended. The Empress's claws flexed. 3,000 warships, and they brought them to our doorstep, to Zor'kai space. The court fell into an uneasy silence. For over 2 centuries, the Zor'kai had expanded relentlessly, their fleets conquering lesser species with ease. Their empire stretched across hundreds of star systems. They believed themselves unassailable. Then they made the mistake, the unforgivable, terminal mistake, of attacking humanity. It began with the annexation of the Epsilon Eridani sector. Earth had established fledgling colonies there, small, vulnerable, lightly defended. The Zor'kai, seeing a soft target, swept in like predators upon wounded prey. They slaughtered the outposts, enslaved the survivors, and transmitted a single message to Earth: submit or perish. What they received in return was not submission. It was silence, a silence that lasted months. Then the Terran war fleet arrived. First came their vanguard, small, surgical strikes that decimated Zor'kai listening posts. Next, coordinated assaults crippled supply lines, communications relays, and fuel depots across contested space. But the true blow came today, this revelation. A fleet of 3,000 warships, each more advanced, more lethal than anything the Zor'kai Navy possessed. The full might of humanity, forged in the fires of desperation, driven by vengeance, and now staring directly at the Empire's throat. K'lara slammed a clawed fist into her throne, shattering its obsidian armrest. Where's Admiral Skorvac? She demanded. A trembling aide stepped forward. Admiral Skorvac's 9th Armada was stationed at the Vega defensive line. Empress. They're gone. Gone. K'lara's voice was ice, her pupils narrowing to crimson slits. The aide swallowed hard. Destroyed. The human fleet arrived 2 cycles ago. They overwhelmed the Vega line in under 6 hours. There were no survivors. A horrified murmur rippled through the court. The Vega line was no mere border outpost. It was a fortified bulwark of dreadnoughts, planetary defenses, and orbital weapons platforms. The humans had annihilated it in 6 hours. Raxer found his courage at last. Empress, we must retaliate. Deploy the Imperial Armada to crush them before they reach the core worlds. K'lara's gaze shifted, cold and calculating. Retaliate? With what, General? Their weapons bypass our shields. Their ships move with an efficiency our engineers cannot replicate. Our admirals die without understanding how they are outmaneuvered. The room recoiled as her words sank in. For decades, we believe ourselves superior, she continued. But these humans, they are not prey. They are predators in the skin of prey, and we have provoked them. The chamber's walls trembled again as another holographic projection activated. This time, intercepted human communications. The Terran fleet's commander, Admiral Elena Voss, stood at a command podium aboard her flagship, TNS Revenant. Her voice, clear and precise, filled the hall. To the Zor'kai Empress and ruling council, Voss declared, her expression cold, almost surgical. You have murdered our civilians. You have enslaved our people. You have desecrated our colonies. You demanded submission. Voss leaned forward, her eyes sharp as plasma blades. We submit nothing. We bring reckoning. The transmission ended. A suffocating silence hung over the hall. Even the most battle-hardened generals seemed diminished by the weight of that message. They intend to end us, hissed War Minister Zilkor. They believe themselves capable of toppling an empire spanning centuries. K'lara's gaze hardened. They do not believe, Minister. They know. She turned, stalking towards a strategic holomap dominating the chamber. The human fleet's advance was marked in crimson across the border regions, system after system falling silent. We underestimated them, the Empress admitted, the words bitter as acid. Their resilience, their cunning, their capacity for war, but most of all their capacity for rage. The advisors exchanged uneasy glances. They had all seen it, the human response to suffering. It was unlike any species in the known galaxy. Where others fractured, humans unified. Where others retreated, they advanced. Where others mourned, they prepared. And now, 3,000 of their most dangerous creations sailed toward the Zor'kai homeworlds. What is your command, Empress? General Raxer asked, his voice low. K'lara's tail twitched as she considered the impossible choice before her. Surrender meant humiliation and likely extinction. War meant uncertain annihilation. But pride still burned within her. Prepare the Imperial Armada, she ordered at last. Every dreadnought, every fighter, every planetary defense platform. We will meet them at the Sarnath Expanse. Zilkor hissed softly. Sarnath? That region is unfortified. It is open space, K'lara said. We make our stand there one decisive battle. If they falter, we destroy them. If we falter, we face the consequences. Her advisors bowed their heads in grim understanding. The Zor'kai Empire would either reaffirm its dominion or fall to the wrath of humanity. The Sarnath Expanse stretched before the Zor'kai fleet like a yawning abyss, empty, cold, and vast beyond measure. Dozens of Imperial dreadnoughts, carriers, and strike groups coalesced in tight formation, weapons primed, shields shimmering like liquid glass. Empress K'lara observed from the command throne aboard the Zor'kai's Wrath, the largest warship ever constructed by her empire. Her gaze remained fixed on the holoscreens as distant sensor contacts flickered to life. The humans had arrived. 3,000 ships materialized from subspace, their dark hulls gliding silently into formation. The void seemed to warp around them, space bending under their gravitational drives. At the forefront sailed a Revenant, its colossal silhouette eclipsing nearby stars. K'lara's claws tightened around her armrest. All batteries, stand ready, she ordered. But no immediate attack came. Instead, the human fleet held position, their weapons quiet, their formation steady. A communication request pinged the command network. Put it through, K'lara commanded. Admiral Voss appeared once more, her expression unchanged. But this time there was a new, unsettling calmness in her eyes, a predator offering final terms. Empress K'lara, Voss began, you may yet avert the extinction of your people. Withdraw from our territories. Release all prisoners. Renounce your claim to the Eridani sector. Failure to comply will result in the complete dismantling of your empire. The Zor'kai command deck fell silent. She offers terms, Raxer whispered, his voice strained. Mercy. K'lara's eyes narrowed. Mercy? No, This was not mercy. This was victory. Served cold and clinical. Voss's gaze sharpened. You have 1 hour to decide. After that, there will be no more negotiations. The transmission ended. The countdown began. K'lara's tail coiled tightly around her throne. Pride and survival warred within her. To surrender was unthinkable. But to fight, the outcome was almost certain. Almost. Her gaze lingered on the 3,000 human warships, death incarnate, built from the ashes of their fallen. Forged by grief, by rage, by the raw, terrified to never kneel again. The humans were not bluffing. They never had been. She exhaled slowly, venom boiling in her veins. Signal the fleet, K'lara commanded at last, her voice low, bitter, yet resolute. We will withdraw. The Zor'kai Empire would survive this day, but it would never be the same. As the human fleet advanced in disciplined silence, the Empress's claws etched deep scars into her throne, her fury simmering beneath the surface. This was not the end, but it was humanity's beginning.